Good morning and happy Monday. It is actually a Monday. I'm so proud of myself that I remembered to do a video. I think my last video was maybe 3 weeks ago. And side note, I think this is the first time I put makeup on in over a month, and it almost feels weird. I feel like it's really dark and there's a lot of it, probably because I'm not used to having any makeup on. So it's fine. It was kind of fun to put it on this morning. So, ta-da! I got ready for the day. Yay! Especially with the whole quarantine going on. There's been no need for makeup, guys. Absolutely no need. Anyway, I thought I would jump on here and update you guys a little bit. I kind of left things hanging in my last video, so we will talk about that. In my last video, I was finishing out a female cycle. You guys are going to be so sick of hearing all of this, but I'm going to end it there. This is my last time, I think, knock on wood, that I'm going to be talking about this, because hopefully it's just going to be normal from here on out. Yeah, hopefully. So, I was on day 8, I think it was, of my luteal phase. Again, a luteal phase is the phase in between ovulation and menstruation, and a healthy luteal phase can be anywhere from 12 to 14, sometimes even 16 days, depending on your cycle. And mine always lies between 7 to 9 days. My progesterone is super terrible. I am more estrogenic, and so my progesterone cycle is really poor, typically. So when I chatted with you guys last time, I was on day 8, and I was curious to see how things were going. So I have a story to tell you. Around that time, I really messed up and I did something awful that really threw me for a loop. So you guys know that there's 2 different tests you can do when you're trying to get pregnant, right? So there's the pregnancy test that you can take, and then there's also the ovulation test, which tests the luteinizing hormone, which spikes right before you ovulate. That's what causes your body to drop an egg. And if you take an LH, luteinizing hormone test, you can get a soft line, and it's a negative. So for a luteinizing hormone test, it has to be just as strong or stronger than the control line for it to be a positive, because you can have the luteinizing hormone in your body on lower levels, but it doesn't mean you're about to ovulate. So with that being said, my pillows are falling. Sorry guys, hold on. I really should prop my phone up and not shake for you guys. So, what was I saying? Oh, so for a positive LH test, the line has to be just as strong or stronger than the control line, okay? And then for a pregnancy test, which tests the HCG in your body, which you won't have that unless you're pregnant, right? So you can get a very faint line on the test line, and it's a positive, right? Okay, so you're following me? Well, guess what I did? At around day 9, I took a test, and it was positive. Well, guess what? It was an LH test, and I didn't notice. They look exactly the same, except for there's little teeny writing on the test that says LH or HCG. And I thought I took an HCG test, so there was a really faint line, which would make sense on day 9, in my luteal phase. It would be, if it was positive, it'd be really faint, and there was a really faint line. And so I thought I was pregnant. And I was so excited and so happy and just overjoyed. And I was just ecstatic. And I was at the store that day and they were having like this huge sale on baby clothes. So I like purchased a few because I was so excited that I was pregnant. Yeah. Yeah, guys. I took the wrong test. So, no, I was not. But I didn't know that for a good 2 days. I really thought I was pregnant for 2 days. And I was just so happy and so excited and just overjoyed. And then I decided to take another test to make sure that the line is getting darker, which means that the HCG would have been getting higher levels, right? Well, I did grab the correct test this time, and I took the HCG test, and it was negative. And I thought, wait a minute, it should be stronger positive. And I was really confused, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's not good. And so I waited for one more day and took another one, and it was negative. And so I thought, oh, like I don't know what's going on, and I was really confused. I was really upset. And so I was comparing all three tests, and when I looked really closely, I realized that the first test I had taken the wrong one. So, sorry, somebody's calling me. Decline. So, safe to say, I was devastated. Devastated. I actually didn't realize how upset I would have been. I mean, I was kind of flabbergasted with how upset I was. I fell into depression fast, deep depression. I was so sad, and my husband's like, what is going on? During this time, guys, I didn't tell my husband that I got a faint positive because it was faint, and so I wanted to make sure the lines were getting darker before I told him. So I kept it all to myself. I actually told my mom. Hi, Mom. And so I was devastated. And I fell into depression for like a week. It was bad. I just fell into a deep, dark place, and it caught me off guard. I didn't realize it was happening. I just fell hard. I fell hard. And my husband was like, what is wrong? What is going on? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm not pregnant. And he's like, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, we'll try again next month. I'm like, but you don't understand. I thought I was. You know, I was just super upset. I'm shaking. Is the whole camera shaking? Let's try another pillow. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to get this without me shaking. Maybe I'll use two-handed, which is hard for me to do because I like to talk with my hands. Anyway, so I fell into a deep dark hole. Bad. I fell hard. And I had to crawl myself back out of there. Claw my way through because I just was shocked with how hard I fell. So it made me really realize how badly I want another child. I know I have more children. I feel it, and I felt like I finally got it. Does that make sense? And then it wasn't. And I realized that the mistake was on my part, and I totally overlooked when I was testing, and I will not make that mistake again. Anyway, so that took me about a week, and then this next week, let's see, how many weeks has it been? It's been 3 weeks since that happened. So that following week, I was just kind of taking things easy. I was just trying to pull myself back together, and when I fell hard, you know, the house kind of got overlooked, except for being in this quarantine. I've been disinfecting daily. Just because, you know, I don't want to get sick and I don't want my kids to get sick. So that was fun. And then with this quarantine happening and everything going on in this world, I think it just made my depression even worse. I was worried about food when you go to the stores and like all the shelves were empty. I was worried about getting the food that I needed for my children. I was worried about getting diapers and wipes and just things that, I mean, you can't find Lysol anywhere. And I was already out of Lysol as is, and I usually like to get it during cold and flu season just to keep us safe from colds. And you can't find it anywhere. So it was just everything was piling on top of each other, that I fell into depression really hard, and not being able to leave the house. And during this time, it was really rainy and cold, so we couldn't go outside. And, it was just the perfect recipe for depression. And so that second week, I slowly worked on trying to push through it and to pull myself out. So with that being said, I have a friend on Facebook who asked if some of us would be willing to participate in a stay active group activity. And I immediately jumped on the opportunity. Yes, please, because I haven't been exercising and I was eating heavens knows what. Like, I was just eating everything because, when I'm sad and depressed, I eat my emotions. So I was just eating like crazy. And which also made me feel sad because I was doing so good. And so, yeah, you know how that goes. So, she created this group where there's a new activity every day, and you go onto a Google Docs document and you can see what it is on that day and then do it and then say if you did it and what you did. So it kind of keeps you more accountable, and it's been really fun because every day has been different. So one day it could be running, walking, jogging, wherever your level is. The next day could be yoga. The next day is a HIIT workout. The next day is Richard Simmons. The next day could be a dance class. The next day could be Zumba. Lots of different things that she has on this Google Docs. And so that's been really fun. So it got my body moving 5 out of the 7 days this week. So I've been back into exercising, and I went back into it hard, not what I'm used to. I usually slowly work my way back up, and I just pounded it out. I did beginner classes on everything, but they still kicked my booty. So that was fun, able to do something every day and to get my body moving. And that really helped push me back out of that depression. So I'm okay now. I'm not depressed anymore. It was circumstantial, and I'm doing pretty good now. So back into exercising, back into trying to eat better options besides Easter. It was yesterday. So, it's Easter. Come on, guys. So yeah, that's basically been my last 3 weeks. Something I would like to say that's positive during all of this quarantine. I know a lot of you guys are struggling out there. If you're stuck in your homes, in your apartments, in your wherever you're stuck without social relationships, my heart goes out for you guys. I can't even imagine what it would be like not to be stuck with my family. That just seems really lonely and really hard. So my heart goes out for you guys, and I'm so sorry. I hope that this passes soon and that we can get our economy back together, because I can't even imagine what you guys are going through. So my heart goes out for you guys, and I encourage you to reach out on places like this, like videos and duo videos, Marco Polo's YouTube, Facebook, all sorts of things to try to get some interaction to kind of push us through this crazy time. But with that being said, I want to end this video and just say how grateful I am that I have my family and that we have a home and a yard that we can spend time together. During this time, it has really made me well, I guess not made me, encouraged me to look at the many blessings that we have. You know, we have a home, we have a family, and we love each other. And I have two beautiful little boys, and this time has made us have a whole lot more quality time and doing a whole lot more activities together, and not just sitting watching television all the time, you know. Actually doing activities, and it's kind of made this time together more special. And so I encourage you guys to look at the positive in your world and know that you're not alone, even if you're physically alone, that we're all in this together and that we're going to get through this. And I will talk to you again next week. This video is ending. It's going to shut down because I've hit my max on memory. So I'll talk to you guys again next time. Bye.